Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear and footwear looks like. And I add footwear because today we're going to be taking a look at some Palm Angel sneakers. And they are specifically the recovery sneakers, and I have been coveting these sneakers for a long time. I've been looking for them, and I finally found an authenticated pair, and we're going to take a look and see what the real things look like. But before we get going, I ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, or even if you don't, the videos are only going to get better. So even if you hate this one, you can subscribe and you'll like the future ones. I promise you, it doesn't cost you anything. Just check it out, click that button below, and I thank you dearly. So we gotta start with the obvious, and that is the shoebox. This one is fairly average sized. It's about 15¼ inches by 10½ inches. You can see it is just like a textured cardboard, fairly smooth, but you can see these kind of speckles in here, kind of gray coloring. And then centered right in the middle there, you've got a lightly embossed Palm Angels logo. And this one, it's kind of glossy, as you can see in the light there. And it just kind of sticks out of the box just a little bit. It's not super poppy or anything, but you can feel those letters. Of course, take a look at all of those letters. Make sure that this little thing coming up here doesn't touch the inside of the P there. You want that gap. You want that gap right there in the A. All those little things are very important. Both of the long sides of the box are blank, as is the bottom. One of the short sides is also blank, and then the other short side has all the good stuff. So you can see this one does pull out here with this kind of ribbon. You can see it's got kind of a horizontal line texture to it, and it loops over. And then you've got some good stickers here. Ignore that one in the bottom left. That doesn't really mean anything. But first, let's take a look at the one in the bottom right. So this one, you will notice, is very similar to Off-White tags and stickers. And that's because they have the same parent company, part of the New Guards group. So their stickers look pretty much identical. Of course, you've got a model number. Mine is kind of faded at this point, but definitely look that up and make sure everything checks out. You get a model name, so Recovery Sneaker Silver Red, so you even get the colorway there. And then brand at the bottom, Palm Angels, and all that is in caps. And off to the right, you get a size, and that is European sizing. So this is a 44, which usually equals out to a US 11. This right here is the retailer sticker. It's kind of faded up top, but you can see it does say Saks Fifth Avenue. So stuff like this is always a good sign. It's not totally necessary to know if it's real or not, but it does add some credibility to it. And if it does have a sticker like this, just make sure the information matches the main sticker, like the color silver red, the size 44, and so on. So let's pull this out and unbox this thing. Oh, those are so crazy. All right, let's check out the inside of the box a bit. So if you pull that inner box all the way out, on the inside of that kind of casing, it does have just a gray lip and then matte black on the inside from there. And that inner box is just black all the way around. And inside the box, we've got a receipt, again from Saks Fifth Avenue, always a good sign. A bunch of stock paper. And then here you've got a black lip and then again that gray on the inside. On one side here, you can see where that ribbon on the outside is attached. It kind of bulbs out in there. And then we've also got this, and that is a micro pack sticker, which is also always a good sign here. All right, it's time to look at these shoes. Oh my God. So the main materials on these shoes are really leather, rubber, and a bit of like elastic mesh. So first, let's look at these leather panels here, and that is these silver parts on the outside. So you can see this has a really nice curve going all the way up around there, and those sizes of each of those panels is really uniform. Definitely look at that stitching. This is not an easy material to work with. So you can see, take a look at how clean each of those stitches is in there, and the parts where it cuts over, take a look at how little leather is left over after the stitch. And these spots here, the leather is nice and cleanly cut. There's nothing rough about that. It's really smooth on each of those edges there. And then that leather comes around from the side and over into here, and you can see there's very little left over there. And it curves around, again, really nice stitches on the curves. And then it comes up here and it juts out just a little bit more right there before coming in again. Again, there's almost nothing at that point. and then it swings around here to, again, almost nothing right there. Look at that stitch right there is almost right next to the rubber of the toe guard. And if we look at the inside here, so on this side you've got 3 stitches right there. These two are really close together. This one's a little further out. And then I really like to look at this. So dead center between these two Velcro straps is this little triangle that goes right up to there. So that should be right centered in there. And then if you follow it around to the back, you've got the counter here. So you get a little kind of ribbon strip there with, again, those horizontal kind of stripes in there. And you've got one panel here and then another panel there. And there's 2 of these pulls there at the heel. But then you've got a stitch there, and then it turns into the kind of ankle sock almost. Now let's look at these straps. So these are kind of a rubber applique almost, I would say. You can feel them. They're kind of tacky. They stick out of the Velcro straps, as do these red strips here. So you've got palm there, and then angels off to the right on this one. And the edges of those do have a slight curve to them, so you see that there and there at the end. And what I like about this is then when you have this stitch matches up so nice with this stitch going along there. It's seamless. When you open it up, that's what the inside of the Velcro should look like. So you've got the kind of fuzzy part there, and then this is just the inside of the leather, very smooth kind of suede feel, where it goes through that plastic piece, and then you've got this stitched in right here, which is the rough part. And then you also get some plastic pieces here. So this is a silver plastic piece with plastic screws in it, it feels like, and you can see each of those there, that spacing of the screws. And then you also get this silver plastic piece going all the way around here, the back of the shoe and the counter. And then you do also get another plastic piece at the sole there, which we'll get to later. And that's on both sides of the shoe. And then speaking of that kind of toe cap, it is a textured gray rubber. So if you look in there, it almost has like a crosshatch pattern. And it's got an asymmetrical shape. This cutout is deeper than this cutout. The midsole is like a white matte foam. And definitely take a look at the shape of that and the lines there. This is a different piece that comes in. Keep an eye for that. And then this piece comes in here. And this is very wide and juts out of the back of the shoe, as you can see, at kind of an angle there. And then it comes to a point in the back. And if we take a look at the sole, we've got a bunch of parts here. You can see those shapes there. You can see that point in the back. And then it kind of thins out in the middle where you've got those silver plastic pieces, and then debossed, pressed in there. Again, you have that Palm Angels logo, and that takes up pretty much the whole center. And if you take a look at these points of the plastic pieces, they come, I'd say, right about between the G and the E in Angels. So that should be how those are placed there. Then at the top, you get this slightly asymmetrical piece here, kind of looks like an S. And then these are lines there. And then it flips up into the tongue right there. And these holders for the straps, these are just a white plastic, and then they've got a kind of diagonal looped piece of ribbon there that is also white. So that one's pretty short, but then on the other side, you can really see those double layers here, and these ones are stitched in together. And underneath that top strap, you have these two kind of pieces of leather that just come in right there like that. And then this whole piece here, you can see it. It goes underneath the mesh, or turns into the mesh rather, right there. This is all kind of an elastic mesh feeling thing. And that goes all the way around the heel in like a sock that's then stitched in. And then right here at the top of that sock, on the inside, right above this angel strap, you get a red piece of suede, it feels like. And take a look at that X in there where it's stitched in. And also that kind of elastic sock on the inside here. Take a look at these stitches here. They're kind of like arrows. And then the inside of that is black, the inside of the sock. And then on the insole, in black, you've got Recovery PA/SS20. So the Recovery sneakers, Palm Angels /Spring Summer 2020. And that insole does come out. You can see it's got a kind of flip up there at the footbed. And then these little kind of jagged edges there on the inside by the big toe. And then on the back of that, it is a kind of perforation until you get to the toe area here. And this is quite a tough, hard insole. And on the inside of that, that's kind of like a cardboard or cork fiberboard in there. And then that's stitched into the sides of that kind of sock all the way around. And then inside there, inside the kind of sock piece, quite deep, so it's kind of hard to see. You've got the Palm Angels logo, the size 44, and made in China. So don't be alarmed if it says made in China. A lot of times for these sneakers, China is just the best place to go because they have all these skill and technology to make these kind of high-tech sneakers. So now that we've checked these things out, let's try them on to see how they feel and see how they fit. So don't be alarmed when you get these if they look absolutely massive. Like these are a size 11 about in the US, but they look more like a 13 from the outside. And that's really because of that sole that kind of flares out. It makes them look much bigger than they actually are. So for that reason, and for the fact that they look like big spaceship shoes, be prepared to get looks from other people because they are super distinctive and striking and eye-catching. So they do look massive, but they really aren't that big. I would say they fit slightly bigger than true to size, but not so much so that I would suggest sizing down necessarily. I think you should get your real size and you'll probably be okay. As for the feel of the shoe, I do really like it. I love how that kind of elastic sock grabs you. The step actually feels really comfortable. It almost feels like you're wearing sort of small heels in a way, the way that step feels, and it makes you feel big, it makes you feel powerful, and I really like that. So that is how you tell the difference between real and fake Palm Angel sneakers. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.